Okay, Brother Monroe here. After some technical difficulties, in that my the drive that I do the recordings to was full, and I was like, "Why isn't it not recording?" We have a new probe ready to go to Eve, ready to orbit Eve if I don't mess it up. So let's get going. Packed with brand new technology, big old telescopes, and all sorts of other fascinating stuff. Or at least that's the plan. Yeah, well, very boring. It's called Eve SCANSat currently. If you have a better name, Twitch chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I'm recording this on Twitch, as I do with most of my stuff. So if you hear me chatting away with people, that's what I'm doing. Join in. Link down in the description below. Nope, the satellite has not been named currently. Looks like a decent launch profile. Generally, it's better to go sideways rather than up. Big brother. All right. As soon as I deploy the fairing, then I'll rename it. I'm kind of hoping that this design I can use for all my SCANSats. So, well, all the interplanetary SCANSats. Although there is one tech I haven't unlocked. There's a couple of techs I haven't unlocked. So there might be upgrades to the kit. But this thing does have, I think, I think this main stage is enough to get it into orbit, and I'm hoping that the 4,000 meters per second of delta V is enough to do the to get to Eve, should be, and then orbit. We do have as well an additional 570 meters per second of delta V for kind of maneuvering, and then we've got the RCS thrusters as well if we get into serious trouble. But kind of hoping that we'll be able to do it. Planetary maneuvers around Eve are famously annoying because of its high gravity. You can go for an aero brake, but generally with a probe like this, which is pretty flimsy to be honest, it's not the best idea. It looks like we'll actually have about 500 meters per second of delta V left in the main stage after the circularization burn, which is just perfect. Although the bloody gimbal is going mad. Let's just lock the gimbal. The wobble might be in part due to the slight offset in the weight. Should lock it. There we go. Nope. This is going to stay in orbit around Eve. This one is not coming back. Okay, wonderful. Right, let's bring up the, not that, the maneuver planner. And we want to do an advanced transfer to another planet. Pork chop. Okay. Departure any time now for 1.341 kilometers per second. That will do nicely. Create node. It's in 8 minutes. Execute next node. Let's go for it. I know I could save a lot of delta V by going almost 500 by going kind of here. This is the optimal time to go in this dark blue area, but you know, time's a wasting. I can't be bothered waiting like 100 days to do that. Like the rocket is designed to be able to have extra delta V for exactly that purpose, that we can go a little bit earlier. Again, a bit of wobble in this rocket. It's not perfect. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm bothering with a SCANSat, it is a mod. Scan, planetary mapping. You can see here the scan of Kerbal itself, which is underway. You can bring up the big map. So this is a map of Kerbal. And you can look at, it tells you what kind of things you have, projection. Oh, so this is the visual. Oh, I want to look at the biomes as well, or instead rather, and it will show you a biome map, stuff like that. And we can switch to the moon, where we also have a SCANSat. Minmus, where we have a SCANSat. They're really handy things, and they show you the flags that you've planted as well, and anomalies and stuff like that, if you have the correct technology. Now, Eve, we have no information at all. Oops. Helps if we pay attention. Okay. A lot more balanced on the Wolfhound here. When we put the SCANSats up in orbit, so the other SCANSats went up. I think actually off stream. I didn't mention them, but that was me mucking about. It was when I was putting the communication satellites and stuff like that up, which was all very tedious, kind of repetitive, boring stuff. You can see them pretty clearly if I zoom back in. So there is the SCANSat around Kerbal, and then there's the one around the moon, and then there's this one going around Minmus as well. They're not as advanced as this one, but very similar. Okay, that looks like our burn is complete. Okay, lovely. Let's have a look. Oh wow, we're actually doing a little bit of a Bruner flyby on our way towards Eve, although it looks like the trajectory is absolute crap, so we might have made a mistake here. Why not? Oh, because it wants me to do it like this. I think that Bruner encounter might be messing us up. We shall see. There's the Bruner SCANSat. Oh, one thing I should do before I forget is extend our antenna. Before I forget about that one, there is also a backup antenna here, and we can actually oh no, we can't, because that will actually start the scans, which you don't want to do just yet. Okay, let's warp out to curb and escape, and then we'll have a better idea of what we're dealing with. Okay. Oh no, we actually have a pretty decent encounter. It's way on the other side. It's currently 3.3 million meters, and we want a 500 kilometer intercept. So it's a very small correction by the looks of it. Stop wobbling. Jesus Christ. Abort node execution. SES on. RCS on. Execute the next node. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Sometimes you wonder. Sentinel is getting on with the contracts, which is nice. Just a very slight adjustment. There we go. RCS off. Before you use all of it up. Yep, we're fine. And then it's just a case of waiting until we reach Eve, which will take quite some time. 177 days. Fortunately, that is merely a press of a button. So we're going to go it's an inside-out route. So we're going to dip in between Eve and Moho and then swing back out to intercept with Eve. Oh, spotted a comet as well. Sentinel telescope. We have completed that contract. That's a nice bit of extra cash and reputation and things. We are still rebuilding our reputation after the slight incident with the space tourists. Right, next thing we need to do is we need to change our inclination to 90 degrees, aka a polar orbit. And we can do that in 60 seconds time, please. Again with the wobble. Right. Abort. Node execution. Execute. Ugh, wobbly rockets. Sometimes they're just the most annoying thing in the world. You've no idea why it's doing it. There we go. It's not happy, no. Again, it's because I think it's partly to do with this very thin connection here. And it's partly to do with the weight offset. So, for version 2, we're going to have a look at fixing that. Right, we now have a periapsis over the North Pole. at what 516307. So I want to change the periapsis to exactly 500 in 60 seconds time. Create the node. This time we're going to just, we're not going to use mekjeb to orientate the rocket. We're going to use the onboard RCS or onboard reaction wheels. Oh, bloody wobble. Damn wobbly thing. Oh man, the time's got away from me this stream. I'm still on very strict bedtimes because I'm at work. Okay, and then we want to circularize at the periapsis, create the node. Okay, now this is a fairly big maneuver. As you can see, 2,453 meters per second of delta V. Oh, we're approaching the blue. It looks blue there. That's very cool. I do love Eve is a very, very cool planet, particularly with the cloud mods, the cloud mod on wibbly wobbly spacey basically, yes. And this is also partly why I am not using the nuclear engine for this rocket, because whilst the nuclear engine is very efficient, it has a terrible thrust to weight ratio, and this this burn would have taken forever. Even so, it's going to take a full minute and a half, 2 minutes with the Wolfhound. If I try and do this for Moho, I'm going to have a very high thrust to weight ratio, because you do not get a lot of time to do your circularization maneuver around Moho. And if you try and do it with a nuclear engine, you'll go right past. And again, we could have done an aero capture back in the old days of Kerbal Space Program, but now with the atmospheric heating, I tend to try and avoid doing that, because chances of me blowing up the space probe are quite high. Nice to see we've got a 94% signal strength, so definitely this this design can be sent further away if we need it to. Although I would like to get a relay of some sort mounted on it, just so that it can act as a bouncing, staging, whatever, for other probes. Maybe if I send one to Gilly, I'll try. I'll muck about, because I can't remember if you have a small relay and a big transmitter like that, whether that works. It should in real life, like a receiver and then a big transmitter, or whether you need the booster relays. That's the one I'm working. All right. So slightly over-engineered in terms of the fuel, but otherwise okay. Okay, let's start a visual scan. Start the radar scan. Start the multispectral scan. let's run a magnetometer report. Which I think I've done already, but just to complete the contract. Yeah, all the scans are active, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it radial. Is it radial out? Nope, it is radial in. Just so that, just for looks, you can actually point the telescope at Eve. But what we should see now, if I pull up the big map of Eve, is that we are now starting to scan Eve. Hopefully. And that will occur over time, and it will occur in the background as well. So hopefully when we return, this one's saying it's too low. Why is it saying it's too low? Oh, okay. We need to very slightly change these. Oops. So change periapsis, apoapsis. Go. Oh, really? I'm gonna have to do it the other way. Hold on. Change apoapsis to 500. At the next periapsis, remove all those. Go. Very slight adjustment. Very slight adjustment. But you can see on the map, it shows where we're scanning Eve, and these can penetrate the cloud layer. So periapsis, apoapsis is now 499,995. Okay, for God's sake. So change, no. Circularize at apoapsis. Go. This will just take a little bit of time to get this just right, but hopefully what we're starting to see eventually is we will get some scanning actually done when I get it right. $49,974. Okay, so I want you to circularize again in the next apoapsis, please. happened to the thing? Anyway, we've completed our contracts. Explore Eve. Orbit of Eve. Science data from Eve. It's all good. We lost probe control or something? No. It might just be because it's eclipsed. Yep, scanning nicely. Maybe it's just such a small adjustment, doesn't want to do it. Right, let's check the instruments though. So that one's still moaning about being too low. That one's saying it's suboptimal. That one's saying it's ideal. Right. Yeah. And we're just going to have to do this manually. Right. Warp here. Right. Prograde, please. I'll do. Right, that should now work. All the instruments should now be operating properly. Ideal. He's complaining about being too high, that one. Ugh. And this one's ideal. Okay. Still, we can fiddle around with that. But as you can see, we're starting to get... starting to get data, and we're starting to be able to see through the clouds as well. Very cool, and I hope you enjoyed that one. Quiet on Twitch today, but hopefully you're enjoying this one on YouTube. Do come join me on Twitch when I'm playing Kerbal. I do enjoy chatting with people. As well, I do have a Patreon page, so if you enjoy this, if you want to see more more of me attempting to do science and whatnot badly, give me a shout, and I'm just going to try and get a nice shot for the thumbnail. There we go. Alright, thanks very much guys, and I'll see you again soon.